Yeah, I agree.
Next week, Paul, you got Baylor has off week.
Yeah.
West Virginia has off week, and then they face off on Thursday night, 2 Thursdays from now.
That's gonna be a game.
As a West Virginia fan, I'm not looking forward to that game. However, I will point out Baylor has never won in Morgantown. Not ever.
No, I don't know if it's the altitude, the smell of moonshine in the air, the the hunt for couches to burn later that intimidates them. I don't know, but and I do think there are a couple places Baylor has a hard time winning, and it is I almost said Floyd Casey, but it's carried over to McLean. McLean Stadium is kind of an odd place where it has its moments where, like, holy cow, these people are really into it. And then it has these moments where I feel like it's church camp a little bit. Like, that's the vibe of it. And so I think when you go to a place where people realize that it's not church camp, like Morgantown, then sometimes, like Stillwater, they're like, holy crap, what is going on here? Because there's not those lulls in the noise where everybody is like, oh, hey, good to see you, Mike. Hey, Phil. Like, that stuff doesn't happen. Like, everybody's kind of locked in. So I think those are the things that kind of shake Baylor and always have. But the better teams win, but they have not won in Morgantown. And if they can get over that hump, which they got over the hump of winning in Ames, which they hadn't done it in a few years. They've done it, but they hadn't done it in a while. If they can get over that hump of winning in Morgantown, this should set some momentum on for them. But, man, it's good that they have the bye week and they can do everything. But Morgantown on a Thursday night, I'm sure that when the schedule came out, they were like, oh, come on. Like, really? Yeah. What are you doing?
It's like Corvallis. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Now, yesterday, West Virginia's freshman running back, C.J. Donaldson, went down with a pretty serious, it looked pretty serious injury during the Texas game. That took him about 10 or 15 minutes to get him off the field. He did travel home with the team. So, I don't know what his condition is today. I haven't heard. But, he's a load to bring down. And Paul, I went to the backyard brawl, and I sat at row 3 on the 50-yard line. I had best seats in the house, right behind the West Virginia line. I had never seen C.J. Donaldson up close. Didn't have a clue who he was. We recruited him as a tight end and converted him to running back. This is a big guy. He's got some long legs. His thighs are the size of both my thighs together, each one of them. And he just like steps over players as he's running. He's phenomenal. So if we can get C.J. Donaldson back, I think we could have some success against Baylor. But But our defense, our secondary is just it's Swiss cheese. There's holes everywhere, and everybody is able to pass the ball against us. Our defensive line is pretty stout. But they didn't show it yesterday against Texas. But Texas was ready to play that game. I don't know if their player meeting, they just fired each other up or what, but they came out ready to play. I'm really looking forward to this Baylor game. But this year, I believe you may get over the hump in Morgantown.
Yeah, I hope for the sake of the people on our website, you're right. But I don't know if they can. I don't know if that message board will melt down if they do. Look. Here's what I think about Baylor. Baylor has good players, but they're all very green, and so because they are, it kind of throws into flux the games that you think they're going to be obvious at winning, like the Widers. Like Monterey Baldwin had a great week. Hal Presley had an okay game. These guys are out there, but Hal Presley, Monterey Baldwin, Seth Jones, like none of these guys have ever been in the game in a key moment in Morgantown on a Thursday night. So, like, those things matter when it comes to holy cow, so they have those moments of like, man, it is loud here. It is crazy. These people haven't stopped. And it's like, that's the thing I think that will get them is that inexperience. Because again, when they're at home, they're very comfortable, very good. That's why I was surprised they lost yesterday, because they're very comfortable at home. But Oklahoma State just didn't care. They just went right through and did things. So everything I thought about this team, I still think, but I have the caveat of they can go ahead and mess this up because they're pups. They don't really know. They don't know what they don't know yet. And the only way to know that stuff is to actually go and do it.